let's talk about lab testing for tryptophan. You can get tested, but normal reference range for adults, about 21 to 108 nanomoles per milliliter if you're testing serum. I don't recommend serum testing. It's not super accurate, and it can change from day to day. I'm a big fan of INA, intracellular nutrition analysis. If you don't know what that is, you can go to, we'll put a link below this video for you. You can go to my website and read more about it. But it's a type of intracellular testing that measures for adequacy of the nutrient and whether or not your cells are functioning. Okay, let's talk about, actually let's move this over here. I want to talk about, we broke this down a little bit earlier. I said that when you're thinking about tryptophan, you really want to think about the nutrient cofactors that play a role with it. And I showed you some of these diagrams already, just as a kind of a reminder again. We take dietary tryptophan, and our goal is to be able to make serotonin in the gut. 95% of the serotonin in the gut is made by this pathway. And we also want to make melatonin. So these are the two, think of these as the two most important byproducts of tryptophan as far as your nervous system is concerned. And in order to do that, so if you're, my point is, if you're supplementing with high doses of tryptophan, but your vitamin D levels are low, or your vitamin C levels are low, or your B6 is low, or your folate is low, or your iron, or your methionine levels, or you have low zinc or low magnesium. These are all cofactors that play a role in getting tryptophan to serotonin and melatonin. So it's super important to understand that. I get this all the time where people will try, they'll try it and they'll say it didn't work, didn't help me sleep, and lo and behold, they had a deficiency in a cofactor. So if you've tried tryptophan and it didn't really help for you, you might consider nutritional testing to see if you have cofactor deficiencies that are preventing your tryptophan from going through its biochemical process efficiently. So we've got that, and then I wanted to show you a few other things here that we haven't yet talked about, and this has to do with tryptophan in your brain, because they're now studying how tryptophan is very crucial for especially like kids with attention deficit or people with high anxiety or people that have kind of an impulsivity or behavioral problems. Tryptophan has to be converted, as I've already shown you. The first step is this substance called 5-HT, 5-hydroxytryptophan. You see this enzyme right here, and this is in the brain. So this is how it's done in the brain. This enzyme requires vitamin D. A vitamin D activates this. So if you have good levels of vitamin D, then you can convert tryptophan to 5-hydroxytryptophan, and then so these are nerves. This is a nerve bouton. If you don't know what that is, it's the end of a nerve. So this nerve is talking to this nerve by way of 5-HT through these receptors, and so this is how nerve propagation messages occur. And so you want this nerve to be able to communicate to that nerve, but in order for that to happen, you've got to be able to convert that tryptophan into 5-HT, and that requires vitamin D. So, and then if all that's working well, then you get normal executive function, normal sensory gating, and pro-social behavior. Now, if you don't have enough vitamin D, you get poor executive function, poor sensory gating, and impulsive behavior. So vitamin D is a requirement right here. The other thing that you need, though, for these membranes to work properly and for them to open properly through this mechanism and channel is you need high EPA and high DHA. What are those? Those are omega-3 fatty acids. Where do we eat? Where do we get the bulk of omega-3 fatty acids? Either from cold water fish or from beef, particularly grass-fed beef. Vegan sources of omega-3 are pre-omega-3. Technically, they're not omega-3. They're pre-omega-3. The body still has to convert them. So we see a lot of kids today eating high carbohydrate diets. 60, 70, 80% of their diet's carbohydrates. It's not even just kids, it's adults too. And they're not getting enough of these nutrients. Where do we get vitamin D? Well, we get vitamin D from organ meats predominantly. You can get some from mushroom as well, but you also get it from sunshine. And so it makes for one more, I think, very important conversation around tryptophan and its ability to convert. If you stay inside all day, and most people do, we spend 90% of our time indoors. We're not getting the sunshine that we need. I showed you earlier a study where combining tryptophan plus sunshine led to a better outcome. We need the sunshine. The sunshine's important for the vitamin D, for the regulation of the vitamin D, which helps to convert this neurotransmitter and activate it. So it's not just vitamins and minerals, it's also sunshine. It's not just vitamins and minerals from food, it's also sunshine, and that's going to be a behavioral component for you. So bottom line, you can eat your tryptophan from protein. You can activate it with adequate nutrition and sunshine. If you're looking to supplement, what you want is something called L-tryptophan. And typically start around this dose. This is a real safe, and that's per day. If you're taking it for sleep, take it before bed at nighttime. If you're taking it for anxiety, to see if it helps kind of calm your nerves, so to speak, you can take it throughout the day. It will not make you sleepy. That's one of the benefits of tryptophan is it doesn't cause grogginess. So 500 milligrams, generally 3 times a day, TID, is a good place to start if you're looking at supplementing and you just needed a starting point. So 500 milligrams 3 times a day for general things, the general things that we talked about. If you're looking for more therapeutic doses, you can go as high as 3 grams in a day, relatively safely, unless you're taking certain types of medications like we mentioned. And if you are, work with your doctor, be cautious around it. If your doctor's not educated in tryptophan too well, then get you a nutritional doctor that is, and work with him or her. But this is generally where you want to stay. As I want to emphasize food first. If you're on a low protein diet, food first. A lot of times that resolves the issue. If it doesn't, then you can consider supplementation. So there you have it. Crash course on tryptophan. Hope this was helpful for you. Do me a favor, we're trying to save 100 million lives. If you found this information helpful, hit that like button below and make sure you share this information with somebody else who could use it. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next Dr. Osborne Zone. Take care.